Hello! Welcome to the first of a three-part video series exploring how to set up space-time triggers on your RxG. We can use space-time triggers to manipulate accounts based on time of day or to trigger notifications and email campaigns based on the location of the device. This is part 1, a space trigger which will send a notification to your end user based on the location of their device. For example, offering a 20% discount coupon to resort guests lingering in the vicinity of the restaurant. We need to start by setting up the area that will trigger the coupon to be sent. So we will navigate to Network, Location, and find the Location area's scaffold. Click Create New. Name this area Restaurant, and under Location Services, select the WLAN controller. In this case, it's a virtual smart zone. Under Conference APs, you'll select the relevant one to the area you're setting up. In this case, the restaurant. Click Create. We could create a different area that contains just the lobby AP. In this case, since we only want to send the email campaign to customers in the restaurant area, we will only be setting up the trigger to look for devices connecting to that AP. But additional areas can be defined for additional purposes or campaigns if desired. For now, we will leave off creating the second area. Now we can create the trigger itself. Navigate to Policies, Event Triggers. Scroll to the Space-Time Trigger scaffold and create New. We will name this one 20% off restaurant coupon. Select the policy or policies that contain the devices that will trigger this particular event, in this case, the accounts policy. We will leave time enforcement at 24/7, but you could edit this according to preference. If you only wanted to send your campaigns on the weekend, for example, or only near lunchtime, you could untick the weekday boxes or change the time for the trigger to occur. Now we'll add space enforcement. Current area means the area that the device is now in that is going to trigger the coupon, so we will select Restaurant. Current dwell time indicates how long the device will need to be in the selected area before sending the email. For demonstration purposes, we'll set this to 5 minutes. By setting dwell time, we are selecting for end users that have actually paused in the area, presumably to consider our restaurant, rather than sending to any user that happens to pass through every time they do so. Previous area allows you to set up your trigger based on the user's movements as a whole, not just their current location. So, had we set up additional areas, we could have the coupon only send to users who had been in the resort for a certain amount of time, like a day, before checking out the restaurant. Now we will set up the email. Navigate to Services, Notifications. Go to the Custom Messages scaffold and click Create New. Name the email, 20% off email, and select the delivery method. Obviously, this will be sent via email. And we want to make sure we are ticking the box for end user. This is not a notification being sent to administrative staff, but to the owner of the appropriately located device. Craft your message. From should contain the sender name, and the domain will be the FQDN of the RxG. We'll send our email from restaurant@FQDN, and we can optionally include a reply to address if we want. Fill out the subject and body of the email. Depending on the purpose and recipient of the space-time trigger, you can include reports or other graphs in the message. Obviously, this is not relevant to an email campaign, so we are going to untick this box. Under Triggers, we do want to specify that this is connected to a space-time trigger, and specifically, the previously created 20% off restaurant coupon trigger. Click Create. Now let's test. We'll simulate a device connecting to the restaurant AP and see the email send. Right now, the device is connected to the lobby AP. The coupon trigger has been edited to send the email after 1 minute of dwell time. We'll move it over to the restaurant AP and watch. Heading over to Network, Wireless, we can see that we currently have the one device connected to the hotel lobby. We'll quickly go to the smart zone and switch off the lobby AP radios, forcing the device over to the restaurant AP. Now, when we return to the RxG and refresh, you can see the device is now connected to the restaurant AP. We'll let 60 seconds pass, and then the email will be sent off. And when we check the email, there you go. Space triggers aren't only for hospitality. Comment down below how you could use a space trigger on one of your RxGs. Follow along with our channel for more updates, demonstrations, and information about all things RGNets and RxG. And look for part 2 here on the screen or in the description box.